Squeeze in here to discuss this case. Michael Jaafar, want to ask you about some of the evidence that they wanted to present that they say is incriminating. This is 18 deleted call entries, including one to the brother-in-law. So between those two people, the homeowner and his sister-in-law, that they have deleted entries. And the defense says that they had an expert look at their phones. They also saw 7 phone calls between the two early in the morning, 6 a.m. That's the same time that Karen Reed would have found her boyfriend's body, and then a deleted screenshot of contact information also around 6 a.m. So what do you make of some of this evidence that the defense says they've uncovered that shows that these two people were lying about what happened to O'Keefe?
This thing gets more bizarre every week. For a judge to deny a defendant the ability to question the evidence and question potential witnesses is beyond me. This screams appealable error all over it, right? Why? What's the harm of allowing the defense to examine a witness or 2 or 5 or 10? Why? Especially if they're pointing a finger in those people. You know, so the judge's job is not to defend potential witnesses, even if those potential witnesses are innocent witnesses, right? This screams appealable error all over it, right? So if the judge thought he was, you know, protecting the witnesses, well, he thought wrong, because this is going to be brought back down on appeal. If this woman gets convicted, she's going to be able to say, there were witnesses I could have examined that would have established reasonable doubt in the jury, but this judge prevented me from doing it, and he had no constitutional basis to do it. I had every constitutional right to do it. This is bizarre. This whole trial is bizarre. The defense attorney, who's doing an amazing job flashing pictures of the arm of the decedent, showing that he was bitten by a dog, and saying this was not a champagne glass. I mean, this trial is bizarre. This whole thing is bizarre. This is straight out of a movie. Whenever you hear the word cover up or I was framed, you have to hold your breath for what comes next, because what comes next is anyone's guess. But it's always bizarre. This one is living up to the hype.
And Michael, I don't know if you agree, but she seemed in that small interview that we just saw that she might be a good witness on the stand, and she probably won't be afraid to take.
She's going to testify. She's going to testify. She's going to testify. She's already preparing to testify. I'm also shocked, if the judge was going to prevent them from bringing the witnesses, why didn't he issue a gag order? Because she walked out of the court, and on the steps, she was speaking to the public, to the potential jurors and their family. So everybody in that locality, in that area, is watching this trial, especially the jurors and the family of the jurors. And they're making they're rendering an opinion from now, and they're hearing the defendant testify, not under oath, right? She's on the court steps talking to reporters, crying, being sincere, and they're seeing that, and it's cultivating an opinion in her favor. So for the judge to stop them from examining these witnesses but not issuing a gag order, it's so beyond me. This is straight. If I watched a movie and this was the plot of the movie, I would dismiss the movie and say whoever wrote this movie has no idea of how the system works, because none of this stuff would ever be possible. It's just Hollywood.
They will certainly have to take care of that publicity in jury selection when this case gets closer to a trial.